You are tuned in to a Fireside chat with Zany Mystic. Join us now on another exciting metaphysical journey. Relax, tune in, drop out, and take a seat by the fire as we explore new realms and possibilities. This is Magenta Pixie. You can find me at magentapixie.weebly.com. But now, here is Zany Mystic and guest. Enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a Fireside Chat with Zany Mystic. Tonight, PATTY GREER returns to share some exciting discoveries about the crop circles. She has just returned from England and has many stories to share with us. For those of you who do not yet know PATTY, she is an accomplished, award-winning filmmaker. Her film, 2012 We're In It Now, is an award-winning exploration of the present shift in energies as foretold by the Mayan calendar. It's a wonderful film, and I highly encourage everybody to get it and enjoy it. She has 4 other award-winning films on crop circles, awakening, and more. Her website is www.pattygreer.com. So let's welcome PATTY to the show now. Hi, PATTY. How are you?
I am glad to be back in America. Thank you. It's good to be back on your show. Is this our second or third show, Lance?
I think it's our third, actually.
I think so.
Yeah, it's our third show. Yeah.
Every time I get back from the crop circles, I feel like I'm all lit up again with updates.
Well, that's a good time to catch you while it's still fresh and the energies are, flying around. Were you were just in England with the crop circles? What were you doing over there?
Yeah, I'm actually still getting over my jet lag. I've been back just a few days. And, I had a new thought which I woke up with this morning, which is that I think that they are upping the game.
Oh.
And that's what I came home with as my overall thought. And I think any show I do now, I feel like that's the new title called They're Upping the Game.
Oh, yes. I agree with you on that. From what I can tell and from what I'm experiencing, yes, that's happening.
For everyone.
Yes, everyone.
And, the movie that I did last year, 2012, We're Already In It, is the name. And it's the Mayan prophecies are just one of the many aspects that's really getting people to look at the present moment a lot more seriously. The scientists are talking about the solar flares coming off the sun, and I don't know who saw it on the internet, but AOL News called Monday night solar flare a potential solar tsunami.
Oh.
Now, it was, we've waited for, that day when all of a sudden all of our electromagnetics shut down for, say, the internet or our telephones, and, people are going to just completely be in shock when all of a sudden one day, they can't make a phone call.
Yeah.
And then, God forbid, go out on the internet. I mean, we would all be just completely paralyzed. And I think we need to kind of prepare ourselves.
Absolutely
so it's not to be in
right.
fear. It's not to be in fear. It's just to be smart enough to realize that, the Mayans are talking about more of a prophetic, prolific, historic conclusion, looking at bits of time that seem to coincide with something that we're going through now. But overall, we're seeing so many closures, I think, of, for instance, I bet if we had an audience where we could see hands and we say, how many people have been ripped off by somebody that they knew in the last 5 years? And I bet everybody would raise their hand. Have you, Lance?
Mm-hmm.
Have you had your
Absolutely.
share?
Yes,
so
it's
what's
all
happening?
over the place.
It's all over the place, and it's bad rip-offs. It's people getting away with the most ridiculous things. But again, our focus is what's most important now.
Yeah.
And with the shifting that's happening, I think that all of these people are really acting as badly as possible because it's all being pushed to the surface to be healed.
Yes.
As we move into a time where no more of that activity is going to be allowed.
Yes. In a way, it feels as if the people who are inclined in that direction, having been on the fence about being of service to themselves or others, are being allowed to do whatever they want, and that allows them to bring up all this shadow side, and those who are unable to heal that part are going to be going down a fairly dark road. And it's a matter of letting go and not playing the victim, because we know that these are all parts we play and roles we have taken on at the soul level before we incarnated.
Yes. And I think it's kind of like we're in finals now. We're doing our master's degree.
Yes.
And so we're all being tested. You know, we're being brought to the table. And for a while I was thinking, okay, now this one for me is how much can you take? But it really isn't.
Yeah.
It's can you be authentically graceful? And can you step over it rather than put your dukes up and go at it?
Right.
So it's not really about focusing, though, on all the, shall we say, physical theft that's going on in this dimension. I think that what's happening now is it's so ghastly down here where we're doing these activities or being affected by them, whereas also if we look at the same day as we wake up and we can decide whether to focus on foreclosure this week or month or shit, or look outside and, oh my God, I hear elk in the morning, the babies making these funny sounds, and I look outside and it's so beautiful, and I've got two choices. I can really focus on the frustration of whatever I might be able to come up with, or the gloriousness of this day that I live in. And I think that part of the 2012 reality is choosing where we're going to put our focus every day.
Absolutely. And that also solidifies the reality that we are capable of living in, so that if we are going to focus on the negative, which is the first option that you mentioned, then we're really saying that, well, I want to play in the matrix some more. I'm not quite ready to step out of it. And when we focus on the elk and the birds and the sounds and the magic of the mystery of all life that's in nature, we are tuning into a higher dimension already, from the 4th, 5th, 6th, and higher, because those densities are channeled through nature, and it is through our connection with nature that we meet, heaven and earth meet in the middle.
Yes, exactly. So what drives me to England, to the crop circle, is a real extension of what you just said, where heaven and earth meet. I think that these crop circles are, of course, the first physical communications from ETs that humans can actually see. All humans can look at a picture of a crop circle, and on a subconscious level, we are getting some kind of information that's helping us evolve. And the sacred geometry has mathematical magic that does something to all humans, awake, asleep, with intention, or completely undirected, but looking at it and going, just for a moment, something goes in. But these crop circles are not, I don't think, accidental. And yes, I did just get back. My 2012 movie was chosen to show at the Glastonbury Symposium, and it was their 20th symposium, and they packed the place every year. I've done for 3 years. So this year, my movie got chosen, and it was the first time they had a sellout Saturday night at the symposium in 20 years, which was really an honor. And I hauled 200 movies with me, and I sold them all. So I felt so invited. Just in England, when I'm there and I've got my camera, everything is effortless. It's almost like my boyfriend that was with me, he said, geez, it's like having a backstage pass to England. I mean,
wonderful.
It's been amazing. Every year I go, it's like everybody says yes. And when I brought 200 movies, every store I walked into said yes. In America, it's not quite the way. It's a polite way to put it. You know, and it's not like I come up to slamming doors, but I just barely knock anymore.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I wait to be invited.
Well, yes. I mean, it does seem like it's a matter of attraction, and we're attracting higher frequencies, so those higher frequencies are going to naturally gravitate to the similar vibrations, so it's no surprise. And we're so mired down in materialism over here, and distractions and manufactured frequency control that we just can't see beyond our own noses. And part of that is that self-centered, egotistical, me, my life, and what am I doing, how can I get this, and blah, blah, blah. So it's refreshing to hear that you are touching a spiritual bone in the depths of people's souls, which resonates, and you should be welcomed in. Yeah.
So check this out. You are the first radio show I've done since being back from England, and I have the most shocking story. They were trying to reach me one night, Linda Moulton Howe. I have never met her, but she was desperately trying to get direct story to me, but I was somewhere lost in Glastonbury, and I didn't get in touch. So your audience is going to be the first to hear of the most amazing thing I've ever heard, and I have it on film. And this year I went with a wonderful man who's in my life now, and he said, we're bringing the movie camera. And I said, no, I'm trying not to make a movie. I mean, this is so ridiculous. The movies have cost me so much money that it's almost like too expensive to continue making movies. But I think because he insisted and we brought it, what we filmed, and it was only probably 48 hours where I just said, oh, my God, pull the camera out. I mean, we took it flying in the small airplanes over the crop circles, and we, of course, filmed the crop circles. I act like that's commonplace now. We, of course, flew in microlights with no freaking door on at like 2,000 feet angle.
Whoa.
And when the pilot he'd say, would you like one more loop? I'd say, yeah, I'm going to pull out the little camera, so I knew he would cut a really tight curve. And so he'd always say, look at me, and I'd say, why? And accidentally once I looked away, and he was really cutting it tight. And you got a small seatbelt on, so it's pretty stunning if you look out when you're, when basically you could fall right out of the plane with your camera.
Oh, my goodness.
So it's an amazing bit of work to fly with a movie camera, and I do it, and I make kind of fun of it, and I actually handed it to my boyfriend for his flight, and he went for it also. We're just now looking at the footage, but it's almost like reading in a car. It's hard to do both at the same time, but I got great footage.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
So the crop circles this year, what I'm saying about upping the game. Now, the crop circles happen overnight. And a lot of people want to say, oh, my buddies are making them with strings and rope and and they're drinking at the bar laughing about the one they made last night. But every now and then you get one like the one Michael and I filmed. This thing is like, it was called Windmill Hill, the location where it happened. This is in Wiltshire, England, maybe 2 weeks ago, the formation at Windmill Hill. And luckily we were staying at a B&B right near the formation the day it came down. So we pulled our stuff and unloaded at the B&B, which was in Avebury, which is the ancient stone circle, the oldest stone circle in all of England. And it seems to be, for so many years, the center of where most of the crop circles come down, most likely because 3 underground streams meet under the Avebury stone circle, and all of the crop circles, 96% of them, are sitting over an aquifer. No coincidence that in the high 90 percentile of all crop circles, most of them as well lay on a ley line, which is a line between sacred sites, ancient burial mounds, walks where people have come to do ritual for thousands of years. There's so many of them. It's Stonehenge, Avebury Stone Circle, Glastonbury, the Tor. All these sites have these straight ley lines that intersect with many of the regular sacred sites that people still go to today. And no coincidence, a lot of the crop circles are sitting on those ley lines. So this one was right near the Avebury Stone Circle, and we went in the evening after we threw our luggage, and we always took the camera with us. And this particular one, now I've seen beautiful crop circles with a nice centerpiece in the middle, and this particular one had, I don't know how many circles, over most likely around 100 total, all different sizes, but each one had a double or a triple center. And when I say center, it's some kind of a centerpiece artwork. Some of them are pulled up like into a